All right. Well, it's been a while since I've worked on this mill, and just for a background, you can see it's the ZX45 mill, and I have been wanting to convert this over to a CNC mill. And on a previous video, I showed where I got the mill in and unboxed it and set it up and everything. And it's been a while since I've done anything with it. And that's because, once I started looking at it, designing parts, I was thinking, well, I want to make sure before I, start cutting or milling out any parts or, making any modifications to the mill itself, I decided to go ahead and model it up using Fusion 360. So that took me a little while. And then I was able to, design the parts. I 3D printed them off, did a test fit and all that good stuff. And everything is, coming out good. I was able to verify everything. So then we started, making the modifications to the mill. And right now, we just finished up with the X and the Y, cutting and designing components and stuff like that. So, well, let me show you what I've done so far. So before I started ordering any parts for this conversion or, doing any cutting, you can see I got into Fusion 360 here, and I modeled up almost most of the mill. Right? You can see, some of the handles, stuff like that I didn't do. The internal components on the head here I didn't do. But you can see everything that I needed. I modeled up so that I can do my design on the motor mounts, specify the ball screw lengths, just doing everything. So it took me, quite a while. I took my time at it and spent quite a while getting this model built up, and it's fairly accurate. I went over it, and then when I did the assembly, noticed any interference here or there, and went and tweaked it. So, there's the table. This is without the table on it. Here's the table and the saddle with the X ball screw and motor mount, stuff like that. And you can see the marks where these are the modifications I made, highlighted in red to the pieces. Yeah, so there's the saddle, and you can see where I've marked off where I'm going to be cutting the oil ways also. There and there. And then slotted these holes so it'll give me some adjustability there with the X ball screw. And there's the table, and there's marked for mounting the motor mounts, and I trimmed off some of the ribs here to give clearance for the ball screw housing. And the reason I did that, we go back, so you can see the ball nut housing back here in the center, and there was some interference there, and I decided, well, on the saddle, if I go on the saddle here, I'd have to trim this plate down, and it would have to be, just making sure that it's going to be, flat. As opposed to this, where I decided just to trim these ribs down, and I can just trim them down. It didn't matter, the specification wasn't that tight, right? There was no reason to, as long as I cut the depth down and gave plenty of clearance, I didn't have to worry about any flatness back, right? So that's the way I decided to do it, because at the time I didn't have another mill to put this on, and make sure once I've, cut that out, for clearance, I had no way of making sure that that was going to meet any kind of flatness spec. So, and it seems to be working out good. You can see in the models it came out good. And I was able to specify the specific lengths for the ball screws, the X, Y, and the Z, which I put on a spreadsheet here. And so there's the ball screws, the RM, the 2005s for the X and the Y, and the 2505 for the Z axis. So that's the 20 millimeter ball screws on the X and Y, and the 25 millimeter on the Z. So I was able to specify the total length that I need, based off of this table, and then based off of my thickness of the motor mounts and the bearings and all that good stuff, I was able to specify the exact lengths that I wanted. And when I ordered them, they did a great job. No problem at all. They cut them down and made them to my specifications with no problem. So that worked out pretty good. And you can see from this main model here, the stepper motors I was just setting in place and spacing them off while I designed the mounts for it. But you can see, so for the X and the Y, I'm using NEMA 34s, and with the Z, I'm using a NEMA 42. So there should be plenty of motor power there. So after all the modeling was done, I with a lot of the pieces here, like the motor mounts, the ball nut housings, and all that good stuff, I took them and I 3D printed them out. And the models the 3D prints were coming out great, and I was actually able to do a test fit using the 3D models on the actual mill, and to further verify that everything was working out the way it should. And it is, so I'm going to keep moving forward. Okay, so it's been a long time since I've worked on this, but I'm getting everything together, and you can see it's a mess in here. We had a bunch of automotive projects going on, so got a lot of cleaning up to do, but you can see I took the table off. The saddle here is just loose, just sitting there for now. There's all the components that we took off. So I'm preparing the table and the saddle here to make my modifications. I'm going to be cutting oil ways on the saddle. You can see I've 3D printed my motor mounts, ball screw housings, and I'll be drilling and tapping the mounting holes for the motor mounts. And under here, well, let me see if I can get that for you. I've got to cut some clearances here, if you can see that. I know the lighting's terrible. Let me turn it on its side. Alright, so I'll be shaving some of these ribs here down so that it'll have clearance for this the ball nut housing when it sits on the saddle. And once I get all that done, then I can actually do a test fit with the X axis and then I'll be cutting this out for clearance for the Y-axis. Yeah, so we're actually about to start modifying it and getting it ready. You can see I scraped all that paint. It looked just like this. I scraped it off of this side. I still have the other side to do, but I'll start cutting away on this stuff, and then we'll get it all cleaned up. It's, you know, starting to gather some rust. Alright, so you can see where I had I'd marked off the holes, 3 holes on each side, for mounting those plates in the motor mounts. And so I was just drilling through, and I was using some cutting oil there to help things out. You know, it took a little while, but it wasn't that bad. I just had to do 3 on each side. And when it was all said and done, I was ready to tap them. And I just used a manual tap. I almost put it on a drill, but decided, nah, I'll just do it by hand. And I believe I used a quarter, or is it a quarter 20? I think. But anyway, they tapped out pretty easy. And the same thing with the top, just all the way around. And it was pretty easy to tap. This cast, you know, the cast iron's not that, you know, bad. But then you can see the 3D printed part. I was able to test fit, and it was fitting pretty well. And you can see I'm marking off now for the Y-axis motor mount. And drilled through that, you know, using some cutting oil also to help things along, because that was actually pretty thick. But when it was all said and done, I can go through and tap those also. Just tap them all the way through. So the motor mount, you know, it fit right on, no problem, but you can see where I needed to cut that out for clearance for the ball screw. And I thought I'd filmed it, but I didn't. But I used that for a template actually, and then came in with a metal hole saw and, you know, left the plate on there and just cut right through. And the metal hole saw actually cut it out pretty nice, pretty quickly. So here on the top of the base, you know, you can see I marked off I was going to extend that clearance there by at least a couple of inches to make sure I have proper travel in the Y-axis, you know, proper travel of the sled. And I decided to use this jigsaw, and I went and got some medium metal blades, a pack of 5, and it actually cut pretty well. It took about 3 blades by the time it was done, but it turned out okay. It cut it pretty clean, but you can see all the sawdust that was coming out of the saw. That's what I usually use it for woodwork, but it cut that, you know, pretty well. So here's the X-axis ball nut housing, and it fit pretty well. But you can see the top scrapes on that 3D printed part. You can tell there was some interference with the table, and like I said before, that's where I decided to cut the clearance, the ribs on the table, and because it's just clearance. It didn't, I didn't have to worry about any tight tolerancing or anything like that. So I just used a router and put a brace across it, and the router cut through pretty clean and turned out pretty good. So then we started cutting the oil ways on the saddle, and I used an 1/8 inch ball nose end mill, and you can see it's cutting pretty well. We were cutting it on a this is a Grizzly, what is it, a GO704, and we had just converted this over to a CNC also, and we're still tweaking it and finalizing, but it cut the oil ways pretty well. It was looking pretty clean. I just know I need to go over it and make sure there's no burrs sticking out and anything like that. So that is about it for now. We got the X and the Y modifications done. We're going to start actually milling out the motor mounts and the X and Y ball nut housing. And while we're doing that, then I'm going to, put my attention over to the Z-axis. We'll take the head off, and then I'll confirm my measurements for the motor mount up here on the top, and the Z-axis ball nut housing. So that's where we stand. We're making a little progress here and there, but I think I'm going to step it up a notch. But thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe and watch for the upcoming videos.